Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In this episode, it's getting hot, look at that. We're going to be replacing the oil pressure switch on my 2003 Subaru Forester. I'm going to tell you as well what are the symptoms and how did I get to this conclusion. But before we get too deep into today's video, let's roll the intro. The oil pressure sensor is down here underneath the alternator. I'll show it to you better in a minute, but the issue that we've got is that the light, when we put the ignition on, so let's go through here. So if I put the ignition on the dash, you can see all the lights there in between the engine management light and the battery. We should have an oil light and it's not, so basically it should come on just to show you right now an ignition like all the other lights, and then when you start it should flick and then go away if the oil pressure is good. Now that doesn't mean that it's going to be actually the oil pressure switch that is at fault. It could be things like the bulb at the back of the cluster, which I have checked, and the bulb is the same one as the engine management light, the diff temperature, the battery, and I think the door as well to be open. So the four that are there plus the oil, those five are in the same bulb, if you like. So I know I checked the bulb, replaced it with another one, and it still does the same thing. So what we're gonna do is replace the oil switch and see if that brings the light back on. If not, it's gonna have to be a wiring relating issue. So if it's that the issue, we're going to go down and we're going to check. But basically what we're going to have to do is remove first the belt cover, the alternator, and then we're going to get to a pressure switch. So let's get to it. This is the part number for the oil pressure switch, and this is what it looks like. For this car, it looks just like this. So we got a spade at the top, and this, when it contacts with the block, is basically our earth. So there are a few things that we can do to test if this is good or bad in the car. Now, because of where it is located, it's going to be a bit hard to do it within the car. So if you go a multimeter and crocodile clips, it's going to be way easier. This is going to be the plug that goes in here. You put one of the crocodile clips in here, and then when you multimeter, you touch in here. And we're going to test for continuity. Once you test that, if it beeps, right, what it means is that we got continuity between this and this. So what we want is when we start the vehicle, the opposite. So if it beeps when it's off, we want it to stop beeping when the car is on. If it doesn't beep when the car is off, we want it to beep when the car is on, because what it means is that through here the pressure is actually coming up and letting the sensor know that the pressure is either good or bad, and then it sends the signal through here to your dashboard. So we're going to remove this, which there are 210s. That's it, that's out. And now what we're going to have to remove is alternator. So we're going to have to remove this 12 in here. We're going to have to remove this, I think it's 12 as well in here. And the other one that is right on here, that helps to keep this tightened. So we're going to do that. We're going to take the alternator out, and then I'm going to show you where the oil pressure sensor is. I'm going to remove this bottom one first, which is in my case a 13, because I had to change the bolt because it did snap. So we can get that one out. don't really know what I'm using a spanner because I can use the ratchet, but now that I got it in my hand.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah. I just feel lazy to go to the toolbox and get the other one.
Yeah.
Now we're going to remove this one. Now there's a bracket here at the back of the bolt, so once we undone this, just make sure you don't drop it. Alright, now that this is loose, we can remove the belt. Let's put it up there. Now we can remove the bolt for the alternator. It has 2 washers, so remember to not lose them. And now we should be able to tilt this up and remove the alternator. We're gonna place it up here for now. Just make sure we're not breaking any hoses or anything like that. The connectors can be okay there. Now let me show you where the oil pressure switch is. It's right there. And you can see it has seen better days for sure. I'm going to disconnect the crank sensor plug because I'm going to be using the induction tool, just because it seems quite crusty and I don't want it to break, so I'm going to use it over this. I'm going to disconnect this sensor, or this plug if you like, and I'm just going to put it out of the way so we don't get it hot, and then we take that off as well, and now we can use the induction tool over this. So we're going to put it over here, over there. We're going to press it.
Hot enough.
I mean, it's getting hot, look at that. So now, if I put, can you hold that for a sec? It's a 24 mil, so it does feel a bit tight, but it seems like it's coming out.
That wasn't a lot of weight, was it?
That's really good, isn't it? So that is out, and it's fucking hot. But yeah, that is brilliant. There we go.
I'll knock you off now.
Yeah, go for it. So here we got the old oil pressure switch, and as you can see, it's quite cooked, so I'm hoping this is the issue. So all we're gonna do now is put the new one back in. I did clean the hole a little bit because he had a bit of corrosion and stuff, so we're just gonna do it by hand first. And after that, we're gonna get the ratchet and just slowly tighten it. Apparently it does have a torque setting, so we're going to do, I think it's 25 Newton meters. I'm going to double check. But yeah, let's torque that so we don't have it tightened. Alright, that's it. So we're going to plug this back in right there, do the crank as well, and now we just need to put the alternator back in and test it. But in reality, if we put the ignition on now, we should have a light. Let's go and check if we have a light or not now that we change the switch. Hopefully, if we put the ignition on. Haha, look at that! We got a light! That's brilliant! Yes! There we go, everything assembly. The only thing is I'm not going to put the cover back in yet because the sensor, since it's the oil pressure sensor, I want to make sure that it's not leaking. So let's just start the car and let's check. So in theory, if we put the ignition on, we got an oil light, and if we try to start it, it should flick and then go. And there we go. That's working. I'm so happy. So happy. Well, that was an easy fix. So let me know in the comments if you have experienced this, or if there's anything else that you thought maybe was your switch and it was actually your dash, or anything related to the oil pressure. If you lost oil pressure and it wasn't letting you know, just let me know in the comments if you had experienced anything like this. But yeah, luckily for us, it was an easy fix. Now we're gonna have to concentrate on that because, as you can see, it's been stuck here for probably, I reckon, 2 months now. But I got the parts now, I got the parts holder. So next job is going to get this back on the road, because we're going to have to MOT both of this before June, or in June. But yeah, I'm going to end the video here. So as usual, thank you for watching, thank you for liking, thank you for subscribing if you do, and I shall see you very shortly.